Namaste, Dovardhan. Many greetings from India. Namaste, I am Pradeep. I am the Marma Yoga Therapist. I was there in Croatia for more than 2 years and lucky to see you all again at Kinesiology, the Faculty of Kinesiology, University of Zagreb. First of all, my great thanks and best wishes to the Ambassador of India, my pranam and namaskar, Dovardhan to the Dean and all the faculties and the students and all those who are present in the yoga conference. Okay, so here I am there to discuss with you a very interesting topic. The topic I've been given on today's conference is the relation between the body or the muscles, basically the muscles, mind and the breath. So how we are going to establish the relation between the muscles, mind and the breath using the Marma Yoga. So this is not a very new concept. Marma is being taught by our, I can say, the pioneer of yoga in Croatia, Jadranko, the Acharya, Yogacharya Jadranko has been teaching about Marma and other things. Yes, from India, when I came there, I found there is a lot of interest about Marma and the yoga there. So today we are going to take the help of Marma, the concept of Marma. Marma is basically starting from the Ayurveda. The concept is built in the Ayurveda, even though the history of Veda says the Marma is mentioned in so many other Upavedas. For example, Dhanurveda, the martial arts. You know this martial arts from India. In fact, thanks to our kinesiology, the Department of Faculty of Kinesiology, they have supported Kalari Payuttu. The Kalari Payuttu, which you saw in 2020 in the February. So that is part of Dhanurveda. So there is a long history for Marma. Marma is being there from the ages of Veda. So I'm just trying to establish the history of Marma. So Marma is nothing new. Yoga, most of you know, and thanks to the Zagreb University of Zagreb, they allowed me to present a small course for the first time in the kinesiology faculty. That was also very great. So you know about yoga. A lot of, I assume that people there, they know about yoga. And there is Ayurveda. Ayurveda, again, it's a great Indian concept, not only of healing, it's also very wide concept about lifestyle, how to live the life. So anyway, so I'm going to talk about all these things, taking a bit and pieces from yoga, Ayurveda, and Marma. Okay, now, when we talk about the breath, we call breath as prana. So let me take one component at a time and then at the end, combine all with the help of Marma. So prana, what we say prana is breath. So in the scientific language, you can say oxygen or the vital energy, however you want to say, you can say that. So I want to give you a small reference from Prashnopanishad. Okay, so it says, Pranasyedam Vashe Sarvam Tridive Yat Pratishtitam. Whatever is there in the universe, in the whole universe, everything is maintained or governed. It is managed by the prana. So this is what it says. So everything. So when they say everything, the body, the mind, everything comes under the control of prana. Okay, so this is one reference from the Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad. Then let me quote one more reference. Again, it is all in Sanskrit. I know there are a lot of scholars who are studying Sanskrit from more than 60 years. I am very glad to know this. So again, there is one more Sanskrit reference. Very beautiful. I usually quote this whenever I talk about prana, whenever I talk about the importance of breathing. I always teach my students about this. Pittam pangu, kapha pangum, panguve maladatavaha. This is such a very, I can say, very, very important concept if you want to understand the importance of prana or the breath. Vayuna yatra niyante tatra gacchati megavat. Let me just give a proper understanding of this. Pitta pangum. Pitta means there are vata, pitta, kapha. Okay, there are three things, or you can say these are the elements combined by the five major elements. What we call it as Pancha Mahabhutas. So there are Pancha Mahabhutas which are combined to manifest in our body as Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay, anyway, so let me not get into the details of all those things. So let me just say Pitta is one of the component in the body, Vata is one component, and then Kapha is one component. Okay, so Vata is the controller of other two components. That's what it says. Pitta pangu. Pangu means the pitta cannot move. Pitta means the fire energy. What is there in our body, the fire energy, cannot move on its own. Okay. Then what we call it as kapha. Kapha pangum. Kapha is basically made up of water element and the earth element. Pitta is made up of the fire element. Vata is made up of the akash or the sky ether element and the air element. So these other components in our body cannot move without the support of breath or the air or the prana. So they are giving a example. What is the example they are telling? Vayuna yatra gacchante. You know this. See, I don't know now. Maybe it is cloudy there, or maybe it is very cold in Zagreb and all over Croatia. So here it is always rainy. Now, especially now I'm in Bangalore. It's very, very rainy. I mean, all the day it is raining now. So whenever the cloud moves, cloud is moving because of the air circulation or the wind, how the wind blows in the same direction or in the same way, the clouds are moving. Because clouds cannot move on its own. So this is the concept what in one of the Samhita from the Ayurveda they are telling. So it is very clear, nothing in our body can move. And then they say, Panguve mala datavaha. Mala means all the excretory or systems cannot move, or the excretory elements. Like sweat is one of the excretory element. The urine is one of the excretory element. Feces, the solid waste what we throw out of our body, that is also not able to move without the support of the air. We call it as apanavayu. Apanavayu has to be properly mobile to push all the excretory elements out of the body. Now, why we are talking about all these things? Because the air is so powerful. Without the support of the air, nothing can move. And then they say, Dhatavaha. Dhatu means there are Sapta Dhatus. Those who are understanding Ayurveda, those who are studying Ayurveda, I know there are a lot of people in Croatia who are studying the Ayurveda. So these, all of you know, there are Sapta Dhatus. There are 7 Dhatus. These are the 7 tissue elements. Okay. So different types of tissues. So which are these tissues? They are all basically rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, majja, asti, shukra. Okay. So these are, the mamsa is the muscle. So coming back to the point where we started, the muscles cannot move without the support of the breath, the prana. Okay, so there again we are establishing through this reference. Okay, this is Shrangadhara Samhita. Shrangadhara Samhita. This is again part of the Ayurveda. There are so many Samhitas, right? Sushruta Samhita, Charaka Samhita. This is Shrangadhara Samhita. So in this, he says, none of the tissues can move. Not only the mamsa, not only the muscle, all the elements should have the support of the vayu or the breath. Without that, you cannot move. Okay? So two things are established. Without the breath, muscles cannot move. Nothing in this world can move, without the support of the air. So then, what we are talking about, when there is a disorder, I want to establish one more from the Yoga Vasishta. There is something very beautifully mentioned, especially people are suffering from so many disorders. It can be muscular pain, it can be musculoskeletal disorders, structural disorders, anything starting from arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, or even the injuries for that matter. There are so many things for healing purpose. If you want to heal your body, you need to have a proper breath circulation. So what we have in Panchakosha concept, the Pranamaya Kosha. The Pranamaya Kosha is very important. Pranamaya Kosha is the bridge between the mind and the body. We have Annamaya Kosha, then we have Pranamaya Kosha, then we have Manomaya Kosha. So this is the Pranamaya Kosha. The breath is the connection or the link or the bridge between the body and the mind. Okay, so that is already mentioned in the Upanishads. These Panchamaya Koshas. Annamaya Kosha means the physical body, the structural body what we have, that we call it as Annamaya Kosha. The Pranamaya Kosha is the breath, the energy of breath, the vital energy, that is Pranamaya Kosha. Then we have the Manomaya Kosha, the mind. The mind is the mind in a way. So in our yogic concept, we divide the mind in different parts. Okay, there is Chitta, there is Mana, then there is Buddhi, then there is Ahankar. Okay, so let us not get into all the details. So we are talking just about the mind, the Mana, which is working in the surface, which is not deeper. Deeper is the Chitta. We call it as Chitta, which is always processing, the intellectual one. So that is, then we have this Vijnanamaya Kosha, that is the intellectual one. Then above that, we have this Anandamaya Kosha, the blissful state. Anyway, so coming back to the point, establishing the Pranamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, and then the mind, Manomaya Kosha. So in Yoga Vasishta, he very clearly mentions, the Vasishta very clearly mentions that, Chitte Vidurite Deha. When the mind, so I can give a lot of references like this. This is from Yoga Vasishta 9/97. Okay, in the shloka. He says, Chitte Vidurite Deha. So when the Chitta, there is a disturbance in the mind, the body gets disturbed, not directly, but through the nadis. Through the nadis. What are the nadis? Nadis are the channels now. Okay, so the prana is traveling in the nadis. Prana, the breath, is traveling in all the channels, all these nadis. Okay, nadis are basically the channels. So these channels have a haphazard movement of prana. All the channels, for example, just like when there is a traffic jam in mostly in Zagreb or in Croatia, I don't think there is too much of traffic jam, but here we see this traffic jams, especially in Bangalore, because it's a lot of vehicle population here. Obviously, there's a bigger population. So when there is a traffic jam, the whole roads get blocked. Okay, and that doesn't affect only that particular road, it affects all the other subordinate roads, like the connecting roads which is connected to the main road. Okay, there is one big block in one main road, say, and then there are all the roads which are connected, everything gets blocked. So in the same way, our nadis get hampered, or our nadis get disturbed because of irregular movement of prana. And that irregular movement of prana is happening because of irregularity in the mind, the mana, or the chitta. Okay, so whether it is only in the mana or in the chitta, even deeper consciousness, chitta is the deeper consciousness. Even then, when there is a deeper intellectual thoughts which is hampering the body, then also the body first gets affected with the digestion. That's what he says. There are 3 types of effects can be seen on the body, on the Annamaya Kosha. He says 3 things. Kujiranatvam, then Atijiranatvam, Ajiranatvam. Okay, Kujiranatvam means wrong digestion. So please understand the concept. Let me repeat again. When there is an imbalance in the mind makes the prana, the breath, Let me again give one more example. When, for example, again driving, when you are driving, if you are in a happier state, if you are enjoying the drive, then your breath is very cool, very easy, and you are relaxed. And your muscles are also very relaxed. Just imagine you're driving in a very tensed environment when there are too many vehicles, there is a road jam, there's a traffic jam, the whole roads are blocked. So somebody is, behind you, everywhere there are vehicles. So you're a bit tensed. And then you observe your breath. Your breath is very shallow. It's not a deep breathing. It's a shallow breathing. It's a short breathing. So I'm coming back to this concept again. When there is a imbalance in the mind gets imbalanced through the nadis, that is through the prana. The nadis are getting imbalanced, and the prana, because of the prana imbalance, it is disturbing the digestion. 3 things happen in the digestion: kujiranatvam, wrong digestion; ajiranatvam, that is indigestion; atijiranatvam, over digestion. Okay, so this is again establishing that there is a relation between how you think, what you think, and how the body affects because of that. So all this, what is happening, even in the digestive system, there are different muscles. These muscles are nothing but controlled by your prana, which we already mentioned about this. Every muscle, every component in the body is controlled by the prana. Okay. Anyway, so there is too much of understanding about this. We can go much deeper into this. Anyway, my purpose was to give a simple, basic understanding how the marma can help. Okay. So now that we established that there is a relation between how we think, that is the mind, how we breathe, how the mind influences the breathing, and then how the breathing is influencing the muscles. Okay. So now, here comes the marma. Now let us talk about the marma, how the marma can change this pattern of imbalance. Whenever there is an imbalance, some part of the marma is affected. What are these marmas? Marmas are the junctions of all these channels. The nadis are the channels. So wherever there is a junction, like you have a traffic junction, there are different junctions like that. There are junctions of prana, there are junctions of nadis, so they are called as marmas. Okay, so for example, let me just give you one small example about one kurcha marma. Okay, there is a kurcha marma here, kurcha shira marma, sorry, this is called as kurcha shira marma. So this kurcha shira marma, this entirely controls all the muscular system in your legs. Okay, I know you are in the auditorium there. You'll not be able to do all these movements now, but you can try it out sometime, anytime, whenever you have a leisure time, when you are not wearing your shoes. So you can try this out. So I have done this many times in different classes. We have been teaching this for many years now, more than 5 years we are teaching this. So if you want to have a try, press this point and then deep breathing. You can just keep your leg easily. Okay, you don't have to press it hard. Press it like this, and then we do prana dharana. Focus. Okay, so let me turn on the other side so that you can understand where I am pressing. So this is the point. This is the center of the heel. Okay, on the upper side, not in the middle of the heel. It's like on the upper area. So I can show it like this. So you can press it, which controls the entire muscular system in the leg. Recently, I treated many patients. I was on my tour. I was traveling all over my state, Karnataka, and then I saw there are so many people who are suffering from the back pain. So the back pain, basically, it doesn't start only in the pelvic region. Your hamstring muscles, the entire legs, the muscular system in the pelvic region, and all the thigh muscles, everything is getting affected. Whenever there is a stiffness, when there is a lack of mobility in the legs, especially people who are working, in this part of the country, there are more software engineers, so they work on a sitting on a chair mostly. They don't walk much. They don't have any kind of physical activities, not like the people there who are more into sports. So there is very lack of mobility there. So this whole body, this part of the body is getting stiff. The muscular system is getting stiff. There is no elasticity. So basically, there is no movement of prana. There is no movement of air, the breath. Okay. So what we do, we massage. We do a deep massage, the tissue massage in this part of Kucha Shira, like this. Okay. You don't have to lift the leg. You can keep the leg normally and then massage. And with the breathing, I have established with so many of my patients, whenever they had the issues in lifting the leg, they have a lot of stiffness. And once we do this massage, once we activate this marma, then they can move their legs. Even just 2 days back, I treated a very serious case of, it was a case of slip disc, where he was not able to move. The L4, L3, these he had injuries in these places. He was mostly on the bed rest. So when I activated this particular marma, when I activated this particular point, junction, so then there is a flow of the breath. There is a flow of the breath. Whenever there is a flow of the breath, the imbalance or the blockage, what we call avirodha, in our Ayurveda concept or in the yoga concept, we call it as avirodhas. The blockages are removed. Blockages are removed with the breath. Okay, so now again, coming back to the same concept, you can remove the blockages in the body, also in the mind. Okay, in fact, I recently treated so many cases of depression. The depression cases are usually because of aviro, the blockage of breath. Again, the Prana Shakthi. So we have the prana in this part of the body. The prana, the air, the subtlest part of the air, which is prana, is needed in this part of the body. When that prana is not in its own strength, so that means there is a weakness in the prana. That means there is not sufficient vital energy in this region. So instead of the prana, there is apana vayu. The vayu which is supposed to move downward, it's been like, there is a imbalance of the prana. So apana vayu has been coming in this region. So you remove the apana vayu. How do you know that there is a apana vayu? If the person is suffering because of any kind of mental disorders or any kind of depression or anything, there is a marma called as avarta marma here, exactly in the center of your eyebrow. Eyebrows can differ, obviously, yes. So there are different sizes, different shapes of eyebrow, doesn't matter. Whatever the kind of eyebrow you have, in the center of your eyebrow, you have to check, okay, in front of a mirror and then hold it tight, okay. This will directly control the structural balance of the body. I'm again saying, structural balance of the body is controlled by this avarta marma, which is a seat of apana vayu, okay. So apana vayu is supposed to travel downward. In case if it has come upward because of whatever the reasons, that can be removed by deep exhalation. So you can do both at the same time, or I would suggest focus on one point for 2 to 3 minutes, then focus on the other point for 2 to 3 minutes, then you release all the imbalance, okay. So this can also help for the migraine. This can also help. There is a correspondent point just behind this. Correspondent point to this is the Krikatika Marma. Let me show this. Krikatika Marma is here in the back of your neck, okay. So where the neck starts, where the neck begins, and where the skull ends, the region of the skull, wherever it ends, and where the neck starts, where the neck begins. So that is the Krikatika Marma. So this is a corresponding Marma, this one and this one. You can't do it simultaneously at the same time. You can't hold it in the same time, but unless you have a big hand, okay. So here and here, these 2 points are controlling avarta marma and Krikatika Marma. These are connected with the apana vayu, also connected with the balance of the structure. The body and the complete structure of your your body and everything is controlled by these 2 marmas. They are in turn controlling the apana vayu. If there is a apana vayu, you can remove it from this, okay. So like this, I can establish there are so many points which are controlling the prana. There is Kshipra Marma, again, which is controlling the periphery circulation of the body. Okay, this Marma is the Kshipra Marma, which is controlling the periphery circulation of the body. Then there is one here which controls the entire breathing system, the pulmonary activity, and the complete cardiac activity, cardiovascular activity, pulmonary activity, and there are so many other systems connected to this, even the digestive system, everything is connected to this. So there are so many marmas. The marmas are the energy centers which can be activated. By activating these marmas, you can remove the imbalance between your body and the mind, which I said, Annamaya Kosha and the Manomaya Kosha. Prana is the bridge between these 2 koshas, these 2 different layers. So the prana, imbalance of prana causes disorders. Imbalance of the breath causes disease or the disorder, or any kind of issues. Now the last point, let me just give you, because now it's a sports academy, the University of Kinesiology. So basically, the Faculty of Kinesiology, they're into sports. So what happens in case of trauma or the injury because of the sports, because of regular usage or exhaustion? So there are marmas. There are different marmas you can activate. A lot of these athletes, they know, they activate this marma here. There is one Indrabasti marma. When you do this massage on this Indrabasti marma, the calf muscles, the whole body gets relaxed. Why? Because this Indrabasti marma is the controller of all the muscular system. Basically, to be specific, it controls the fatigue. If there is a fatigue in the muscular system, it controls that. So when you activate this Indrabasti marma like this, when you do massage or just do the massage on the calf muscles, at the end of the calf muscle, this is Indrabasti marma, which controls the fatigue of all the muscular system. Okay, so like this, I can go on talking about these different marmas. There are 108 marmas in the body, which controls different parts of the muscular system, skeletal system, digestive system, respiratory system, and all the other systems in the body. There are 16 systems in Ayurveda we study. Anyway, so I just wanted to mention all these things. Obviously, there are bigger courses in this. We conduct courses. There is a 3 months course. We do conduct it online. I keep coming to Croatia. Just previously, in the month of October, I was there. I met a lot of people in kinesiology also. I'll be again coming back to Croatia. I love Croatia. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people, very kind-hearted people. So I keep coming again and again. I'm coming back possibly in the month of January or sometime very soon. So we conduct these courses again and again, online, offline. When I'm in Croatia, I do conduct the courses there also. So if you are interested, you can please contact me. This is Marma Yoga. Thanks a lot. And thanks to all the organizers of this wonderful conference. Thanks to Kinesiology. Thanks to Indian Embassy, Embassy of India in Croatia. And thanks to all of you to listen to me all this time. Thanks a lot.